you make it to your dream, then they send you back down to minors, then you come back. By 2000, man, it was like you were everywhere. I mean, you was like, man, awards and top player and all of that. So what happened, or what did you do different in the minors? So when you came back, you started and you just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
So did you practice different? Did you work on different techniques? Like what happened, or was it just a mental thing?
It's more, baseball for me is more mental anyway, because this is like, okay, if I said I wanted to hit a home run, and if I tell you you need to hit a home run, your mechanics, it breaks. Like you want to swing up on the ball. But somebody just told me, by the name of Al Newman, he said, look, you want to hit the ball hard every time? Just think about hitting the ball through somebody. And I'm like, wow. So that means you got to stay through the ball. And I was able to, take something so small. It's like an airplane. If an airplane is flying and you say, all right, this needs to land in Chicago. If you tip just a little bit, it'll crash. If you stay the course, it'll land in Chicago. But if you want a little bit more, you tip it up, it'll land in Cleveland. Just a little bit. So little small changes in your life, little small changes for me is in baseball, which I call baseball is life, life is baseball. But just small changes on top of each other can be powerful. But what we try to do is make big changes at once, and then we quit and we give up because it's too much. But if you make small changes, things happen and move in your life. And that's what I got to a point where I was making small changes, compounded on top of, it's called a compound effect. If I tell you, I give you $3 million right now, right? And then, but I give the other guy a penny, doubled in value every day for 31 days. That's $10.7 million if you wait just the extra 31 days. And you dig in little small steps you put up on small pennies. 1 penny, you double it every day for 31 days. $10.7 million. While you spending your $3 million,
wow,
I'm gaining in 31 days $10.7 million. So somebody came to me and told me about the compound effect and all those small changes. Don't try to make big changes, then you get overwhelmed and now you can't see the ball because you're thinking about your hands, you're thinking about your heads and your hip.
Yeah.
So that's life.
Man,
Same in life.
You about to make me shout. My wife, she's listening to you. That she's a therapist, mental health therapist, and that's her tagline: small change, big impact. Like don't the big change, like you say, you could be overwhelmed, but the small change, it just makes that, man, incredible. Man, so 19 years in the league, man. So kind of give us some principles, give us some thoughts over 19 years. Well, I mean, but you were playing longer than that. You were playing almost 30 years since you was 8 or 9 years old. Man, the game of baseball, give me something that can transfer to life, just from stuff that you've learned.
Baseball is life. And life is baseball. That's what I'm gonna call this little thing we're about to talk about.
Okay.
So 3 out of 10 in baseball, you're a hero, right? You're hitting 300, and you fell in 7 out of 10 times, and you're a hero. But anything else, 3 out of 10, you suck. 3 out of 10 in football, as a quarterback, completion rate, you're the worst quarterback in the league. Basketball, free throw line, you should kill O'Neal, right?
Yeah.
So you don't really shoot free throws well. So 3 out of 10 in anything. In school, that's an F. Baseball is the only game that you fail 7 out of 10 times and you succeed. I think life is the same way. If you fail 7 out of 10 times, you succeed in life. So I call baseball is life, life is baseball. Now I got this enemy. Who sits on a mound. If I don't know my weakness, my enemy does. If I can't hit a slider or a curveball, my enemy knows that I can't hit it. But if I'm so focused on my strength all the time and not knowing, don't care what the enemy thinks, the enemy only wants to know your weakness. If you don't want to address your weaknesses in baseball, well, baseball is life, life is baseball. In life, if you don't address your weaknesses, it's gonna get exposed, and you gotta fight life, you gotta fight Satan, you got to fight the worst enemy of them all, yourself, right? You got to fight other people. Once they find out that you have a weakness, you get destroyed. But if you go and you look in the mirror and say, and take ownership, like, I got a weakness, I need to make that better. I need to change that. And I got to make adjustments. That's one thing I did in baseball. I knew I had weaknesses. What are my weaknesses? Most people can see you on the outside of you, which is my coaches. My coaches say, you have a problem with this. All right, come throw it to me. Throw me 1,000 sliders until I figure out how to hit it. Rod Carew, Hall of Famer, put me in a cage for a whole spring training, a month, and threw me sliders every day to make me one of the best slider hitters in the game at one point. At first, I was one of the worst. And then I became, if you made a mistake, I destroyed you with that slider. And Rod Carew helped me with that. That's a Hall of Famer. And so if you can figure out your weaknesses, you survive. You know, and you got to be consistent. You know, once you get to a certain level in life, and you get to Al Newman, this is my coach. He played in the major leagues. He was my coach for 7 years. And he said to me, you know, when I was in the minor league, he said, everybody wants to get to heaven, which we call baseball, Major League Baseball. Everybody wants to get to heaven, but nobody wants to do what it takes to stay.
Wow.
So when most guys come from the minor leagues, they take a deep breath. Like this, like, man, I made it. But not knowing that once you get there, you got to go to another level because somebody's trying to take your cookies. You got to keep learning and keep trying to figure out what the secrets of baseball. There's a lot of secrets in baseball. You got to do that in life as well. Don't get comfortable in your businesses. Oh, you got rated number 2 on Yelp at Tender Smokehouse, one of my restaurants. You know what? I don't like number 2. I want to be number 1. And then when we become number 1, we got to stay consistent and keep working hard to make ourselves and make adjustments to our consumers, to the world, to everything. We got to keep making adjustments. So when you get on top, it takes work to stay there. So I respect the LeBron James. I respect, you know, whoever it may be that's on a higher level. I respect those guys because I know what it takes. Some people look at him and be like, you know, he sucks. They don't have to do anything but show up and play for a game. That ain't even possible. You get to another level, you did something for it.
Right.
Madoff, Barney Madoff.
Yeah.
He made off with all that money. But you know how long he had to lie? You know how long this took? He had to lie for a long time and be good at it. He had to hide stuff and be good at it for 50 years. So no matter what you do, whether you're a thief or a good guy or that makes money the right way, you got to work for it. You can't, you know, ain't no nothing. You can't do nothing but work for it. You got to make things hard early so it can be easier later. If it's easy early, you're going to have a hard time later. And that's how I was always told. Play hard, work hard, then there you go. You can take it easy later. I'm not taking it easy. I was real tired from baseball, not retired.
Man, you dropping jewels, bro. You dropping jewels, man. So that, when the book coming, man? What you just dropped, baseball is life, life is baseball. I already know. You dropping it too easy, bro.
We're working on
that, man, because that's life, that's leadership stuff, man, that you just dropped right there. So, man, we got to you got to put some out, man. You got to give us some content.
Yeah, I also like, you know, for your team, you know, like in business and even in your own life, you got to have people around you. Magic Johnson was my mentor. For 2 years, we were in Bahamas all the time. We hung out for a while. Magic Johnson, he came to me, he said, T, the only way you can be number 1 is that your number 2 has to be great. You can't be number 1 without a number 2. So they need to write more books about a number 2. Right?
Book available now at www.ramonharper.com and ebook version available at Amazon Kindle, iBooks, Barnes & Nobles, and wherever books are sold.